to talk to you about what it's like to be a woman in 2018, specifically a young woman facing challenged by sexism. Many people claim that sexism is dead because we have equal pay and the right to vote, apparently. They claim it's a joke that we continue to talk on about these topics, but yet women see a much different world from that of men. Many women call the sexism we face death by 1,000 cuts because it's slow, it's painful, and it slowly destroys our personal and careers. The patriarchy blocks us from achieving our fullest potential. One way it does it is especially beauty standards. Minorities such as people of color and young women are forced to fit into idealistic beauty standards based off of the white male superiority patriarchy. Beauty is a sense of currency in today's society, and the fact that we even consider this is wrong. We consider beauty a goal, a sense of success, and we put above people's looks above what they say. There's value in what we think and our ideas and our morals and our ideals, not our clothing or what we wear or the way we dress or the way we look. But people continue to judge us based upon these things. I remember when I was younger, something both my grandma and my dad said. Both of them used to comb my hair. And when they combed my hair, they used to say, beauty is pain and pain is power. I remember crying because it hurt as they brushed through my thick head of knots in my hair. And I remember thinking that I wanted to be pretty because this was the only thing that I had ever had to aspire to be. I remember at award ceremonies or when I achieved things, the way people praised me only for the way I dressed or the way I looked or the way my hair was braided, instead of what I accomplished or what I did or my leadership capabilities. And it shouldn't be my job to be beautiful. My job isn't to be pretty it isn't my job to experience pain so that other people think that I'm pretty. And I shouldn't be thinking these things, but society makes me feel like this is the only way I'm going to be accepted. And the fact that value relies on what I look like instead of what I say takes away from a lot of what I have to say. It destroys the thoughts people have about me, the careers I can accomplish. So many famous and powerful women are belittled by their looks. They are reduced to being nothing more than a pretty face. Think of Cleopatra. Despite being brilliant, a military strategist, smart and witty, she's reduced to being a pretty face. She's reduced to her attachments to men instead of her ideals and her morals and her achievements. I remember during the 2016 presidential election, Hillary Clinton was judged upon her heels and her clothes instead of what she had to say. This took away from her airtime to talk about policies when we'd spend time talking about her shoes. The media continually supports patriarchal beliefs beyond the news. They objectify women. In the media, we see so little examples of real women, real three-dimensional women who aren't just there to be eye candy, who aren't just there to be looked at. We see that their value is placed in their beauty instead of what they have to say. In fact, they have no part in the plot or the movie or the television. Women are praised for their beauty rather than their talents. And this is wrong. We teach young women that their only priorities should be to conform to gender norms, that their only priorities should be to conform to these ideas of what society thinks the ideal woman is supposed to be, because that's the only thing we teach them that they're allowed to do. So it's no wonder that 70% of women struggle with their body image or their relationship to food when the only thing they're allowed to do is struggle with these things. The media changes the way we see the world. The media teaches us that we aren't beautiful, that the way we look is ugly, and that should be the end of the world to us. We are taught that our uniqueness is wrong and gross and a flaw. We are taught that the way we act is supposed to be the same as everyone else. And we are taught that fat is a bad word. We're taught that being darker is worse. We're taught that body hair is unnatural. We're taught all these things to teach us that we aren't unique, that being us isn't what we're supposed to do, that being pretty is more important, that sacrificing our health and our comfort to achieve these things is what we are supposed to do. We are taught these things, and this relates to the male gaze. Often, young women are expected to change and to be changed to be more presentable. That's what they call it. They call it presentable. We're supposed to wear longer skirts. We're blamed for the way we act. While men calling us down the streets, telling us to smile, that's not their fault. It's ours. But I know my value. I'm a human being. I have thoughts. I have opinions. I'm loud. I'm smart. I'm compassionate. I'm an advocate. I know my value, and it's not in my beauty. And I will continue to share this with other young women and to teach girls to call bull when the world tells them that all they are supposed to do is be pretty, and to keep moving up in society, because that's what we are going to do. We are going to take this down and change the world by being us. The patriarchy continues to shame women for just existing. Think of the dress code, which often focuses on female anatomy. We are shamed for not wearing enough clothing, and that is according to our teachers or the people around us instead of what we consider enough clothing. We're considered distractions. I remember in 4th grade, the first time I was dress coded, I was wearing a tank top. I was sent to the office for wearing a tank top. I was sent there to wait during my math class instead of doing my schoolwork, to wait for my mother to bring me a shirt because it wasn't appropriate. My 4th grade librarian told me that I was a distraction. And this taught me that male education was put above mine, that my education was not as important, and that men are allowed to have excuses made for them, but excuses aren't made for me. When a woman is raped, she is asked, was her skirt too short? What was she wearing? Was she flirting? Was she drug? We are consistently blamed for the problems of others when we should really be addressing the real problems. The dress code shows how rape culture is inside our society, so ingrained that even schools teach young children these ideas from a super young age, from 4th grade. We blame the victims instead of the perpetrators. And we don't address the real problems, like the over-sexualization of young women, like the fetishization of young women. Instead, we continually blame the victims. So it's time to stop. It's time to start dismantling the patriarchy. And the only way we can do that is by taking it on ourselves. First, we need to remember that women aren't objects. They aren't meant to be objectified. They aren't meant to be rated on a scale of 1 to 10. They aren't meant to be your play toy. They are there to be human beings. Next, we need to identify rape culture. Ignoring rape culture allows it to continue to happen. So we need to learn how to see it and then act on it. Next, we need to research, globalize research. Look beyond the Western world. There are so many problems, and we need to find them. Don't forget to fact check though. Then campaign, advocate. Show at people that you are an ally, that you can change these things. Show them that you want to help. And even if you don't know a lot, share what you know. And that might be enough to start someone else and to teach them that they are wanted, that you care about them, that they're more than just a pretty face to you. Next, be intersectional. Identify what makes you privileged. Everyone has some sort of privilege, and learn what you can do to use your privilege on behalf of others. Freedom is not free. Freedom comes at a cost of others. So it's time to learn how to use the extra freedoms that we have to act in the best interest of others. Then reimagine masculinity. We need to see what it is without all the negative traits and what it can be. We need to destroy gender roles but keep gender identity. It's in time for us to change the world and to allow people around us to see what we can do. We need to reimagine the world without these societal constructs that stop us from being able to achieve greatness. Next, we need to talk to young girls, to young women, to young minorities, and tell them that they are wanted, that they are needed, and that they aren't gross. That the things that make them unique are the things that are important about them, the things that are the most special about them, and that fitting in isn't the most important thing. It's time to give them confidence that they can be our future. Let's empower the future together. Thank you.